What happens when the #1 toxic alpha male of social media gets put in the same room as the #1 bop of the universe? Andrew Tate has gone to jail, is still fighting SA cases for essentially being what a lot of people deem to be the most toxic alpha male on planet Earth. While this Bonnie Blue character has allowed 1,000 different men to clap her cheeks in 24 hours.
I'm excited. I am going to do a world record of 1,000 men in 24 hours.
That means her body count number is probably anywhere close to 1 million. And I don't think I'm over exaggerating when I throw a number like that out there. So today we're going to be doing a Berto breakdown of probably the two most polar opposites being in one room. And I'm really excited to see what the outcome could be. Let's get right into it.
Where are you at, Berto?
I'm just a clever slut.
You are the perfect end result of feminism. That's destructive.
By the time you finish calling me a whore, I'm going to leave this chair with a wet patch.
Rob, bring the asteroid.
Do you think you're a good...
This just might be the interview that we've all been waiting for, but we just didn't even know it. This is about to be good, man.
role model for women?
I'm a clear example of what women have fought for years.
So sleeping with 1,057 men in a day.
It's good work ethic.
We live in clown, and I just enjoy the circus.
Sex workers help reduce rape rates by over 30%.
Do you think Andrew Tate is guilty of the charges against him?
You like, there's no way out for you.
You're so trapped in the matrix.
You're judging me, Andrew.
Feminism is a bullet that a man has shot.
Do you send your son to Bonnie?
Andrew, I do father and son as well. Brother and brother?
It's all disgusting to me.
I heard they call you Cobra Tate. Are you packing a python?
Oh man, what are we getting into right now?
Bonnie.
I would have Hitler to survive.
The entire Western world is women f***ing for money.
Imagine how powerful our baby would be.
Survivor DNA.
So who's tighter, your wife or me?
Next question, huh?
Let me answer then.
What's happening with Lily? You got Hobie.
I'll tell you the full story.
Another trick question is, I wonder if Andrew recorded this before or after it came out that she might be actually a man. That's the real question.
Sorry.
Cool. Would I f*** Bonnie for all the power in the world?
Yeah.
Huh?
Andrew, what do you think of Bonnie Blue sleeping with 1,057 men?
How honest should I be out of 10?
11.
I want you to be honest.
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, go on.
I don't understand why men sit here and try and lecture you about it. I don't understand why men sit here and say you shouldn't do it. It's
Yeah.
your body, your choice, right? This is the world we now live in. This is the end result of feminism. You are the perfect end result of feminism. In the world I believe in the conservative, traditionally masculinely ruled world, a man would be in charge of his daughters until they're handed over to their husbands or boyfriends, and there would be a degree of masculine guidance. But feminism didn't want that. You know, women complain that men don't want to get married. We did actually want to get married when we got obedient virgins, but they disappeared, and they complained about the patriarchy, and they were tired of us.
The thing about Andrew Tate, bro, that I'm not even ashamed to say, he says what a lot of guys be thinking, and he be extreme about it, you know, and I think that's where it is. He rage baits a lot. Like, he'll take it to the tip top extreme where it's kind of like, all right, bro, you're kind of tripping. But the nigga be speaking facts. Like, you are literally in denial and lying to yourself as a man when you can say, like, bro, like, he be saying a lot of shit that most guys be thinking, just maybe not that extreme. But I also feel like he don't even believe it that extreme. He just be saying it so he can get the clout from it. But for the most part, bro be speaking facts. Like, what?
Giving them a house to live in and kids to raise, and they wanted to make their own choices. So she's making her own choice. That's a fantastic thing. I actually have a lot of respect for you because you own it and you're honest about it.
What if it was your daughter?
Well, that won't happen.
But she's her own person.
I never said my daughter's her own person. I said I said women
gonna
want to
be
be their own people. But my point is, there's so many women who go to Magaluf for a weekend and do something very similar, and then they come back to England and get with some fucking guy and start asking for presents from him and talking about how they deserve a traditional relationship and they want to get married and they want a Christmas present and all this bullshit. Most women do exactly what Bonnie does. I don't see you any different than most women. And I'm not saying that in a degrading way.
Most women don't sleep with
I think you're tripping. I mean, even the dirtiest bottom feeders of the earth, I don't think they're racking up 1,000 in a day, bruh. That's like actually, again, I said this in the video where we recently just covered her. It's almost impressive. Like, put the degenerate shit aside. Obviously, it's disgusting. I'm not co-signing it. I don't think that's good. I think she's a terrible role model for society. It's very actually destructive, you know, that she is even has the influence that she has. But that aside, holy shit. 1,000 pokes a second, bruh. That's the only way we're getting it off. There's only 24 hours in a day. I did the math in the last video. There's only 24 hours in a day. And if a good round, like a good nice pounding, a good nice clap session, at least 20 minutes, right? At least. And that's if you're going to work. She did 1,000 of those in a day. So that means niggas was lining up, getting a poke a second. One clap a second. Come on, man. They got us, because that's got to go in the world record book or some shit. But, you know, unfortunately, they're skipping our whole generation when it comes to records. Because we setting all the wrong ones.
1,057 men in a day.
1,000? Does it fucking matter?
I think it does.
I don't really think it does.
So
it's all disgusting to me. If I met a woman and she said, I just sucked a dick yesterday, I'd say, well, I find you repulsive. I don't want to sleep with you. Goodbye.
But so you're only going after virgins?
Well, it's not about only going after virgins, but I think if you're a straight man, the idea of having a bunch of men fuck a woman that you're with is pretty repulsive.
But everyone has a past.
But see, this is the kind of shit white people say. I don't know what's wrong with you people. Everyone has a past. That's not acceptable. In fact, let's analyze that. Everyone has a past. You're right. Everyone does have a past. It's true. But isn't the primary objective of a man to find a woman with as little past as possible?
I'm telling you, bro. He just be saying shit niggas want to say, but they too scared to say. Now, me personally, I wouldn't be scared to say that. But again, we know where he takes it. He about to break it down.
Would you argue that's one of the precursors to finding a wife? Considering that wives were supposed to be virgins. This was the deal. The reason I'm proud of Bonnie, and I am genuinely proud of you, I like Bonnie. I like what she's doing. Because the deal was...
Are you not, like, contradicting yourself here?
In what way?
Well, you're proud of her sleeping with 1,057 guys, but with...
I'm going to say it before he even says it. The reason why he says he's proud of her is because his POV is like, isn't this what y'all wanted? Isn't this what y'all wanted? When he says that Bonnie is a perfect example of what feminism represents, it's like that's what they was fighting for. It's like we are now in a place in time where women are being rewarded for being hoes, rewarded for being thoughts, rewarded for cheating, rewarded. It's like, yo, hot girl summer. Yes, queen. Like, what? So the reason Andrew Tate says he's proud of her is because, you know, she's pushing it to the extreme, which, again, we don't agree with it. We think it's disgusting. We think it's degenerate. And I'm sure he does too. But he's also kind of like, it's his version of a fuck you to society because, you know, we're giving her pushback now. Society, for the most part, is like, yo, what is she doing? She's disgusting, which it's true. But he's coming like, isn't this what y'all wanted? Isn't this the freedom and the, you know, the feminism that y'all wanted and female empowerment? You get what I'm trying to say? So I think that is the angle he's going with when he says, I am proud of her, because it's kind of like his version of like, yeah, fuck you. Let's see if I'm right.
Women should be virgins.
No, I'm saying that the social contract, the construct of society that made family function was women were obedient virgins and they found a man who provided for them and they listened to that man. Women have then said, we don't like the patriarchy. We're tired of being provided for. We're tired of being taken care of. We don't want to listen to anybody. We want to make our own decisions. That was women and feminism that ended the traditional family unit. And now women can make their own decisions. So I'm glad that Bonnie's making her own decision.
Yeah,
I'm not here to tell you not to do it.
I take women back 100 years. I'm like, no, I'm the clear example of how to be empowered. I use my body. I do what I want, when I want. And this is the thing you've been banging on about for years. And when I get hate, like...
Come on, man. Don't ever say Berto don't know what he talking about, bruh. I'm trying to tell you.
When I click on the comments of these women that are like, oh, you're taking us back 100 years, then in their bio it says stay-at-home mom of 2. I'm thinking, what the fuck was you rooting for?
That's
because
right.
you have just stayed
That's
at
right,
home.
Bonnie. See, this is the future.
Yeah.
This is the future. This is fantastic. It's exactly what Western society's headed to. So why are we going to sit here and pretend this is not? Why are we going to sit here and pretend that most women who go on girls' holidays aren't doing something similar to what Bonnie does, just because it's not on camera? Why are we going to sit here and pretend that these men who walk around with their wives in the pub in England, they're like, oh, my wife, yeah, everyone has a past. Oh, no, she's done the same shit. What's the difference? Who gives a fuck?
It's not 1,000, but I get the point.
Right? We're either going to care and accept that women are judged on their past and judged on their innocence and judged on their naivety and judged on these things like it used to be, or we're going to sit and say it doesn't matter, everyone has a past. Well, if everyone has a past, everyone has a past. Who gives a fuck? Does it really matter?
So
anymore?
What would you do if it was your daughter, though?
But why are you asking impossible questions?
Well, it's not an impossible question.
Of course it is.
How?
It can't happen.
The thing is, people want to say it's impossible, but bro, obviously anything can happen to anyone. We're not going to say some controversial shit like I can't, I don't know, end up in a plane crash and knock on wood. We obviously don't want that to happen, right? We don't want Big Berto to go out like that. If I got to go out, I need to go out cool. Like if I'm going to go out in a plane crash, I needed to be driving the plane or some shit and then got hit by like a meteor from space. So if that's how I'm going to go out, then hey, God, thank you so much for this amazing life you have blessed me with. But point is, what he's trying to say is like, look, I'm going to be a great father to my children. I'm going to instill the right things into them. They're never going to have to look at their life and be like, this is what I have to resort to for money, clout, fame, whatever it is, validation from other people. It's like, why would I? It's like the same reason why, if you had $1 million, why would you live on the street homeless? Like, you don't necessarily have to. That's not really an option for you. So is it impossible? This is Andrew Tate again being extreme, saying, it's absolutely impossible. But it's just like, why would you? When you start weighing the options of the pros and cons of what you have and what your fathers potentially had built for you, it's like, why would I resort to that? It doesn't make sense. So I think that's kind of what he's saying there.
But anything can happen.
It's against the laws of physics.
It's not.
I mean, if your daughter opened her legs and took 1,000 dicks, it's not impossible.
Of course it is.
What?
Why is
The
it
dicks
impossible?
would enter her pussy, therefore she's taken.
It's literally impossible for my daughter.
What, are you going to be there against your daughter's pussy saying that dick's not entering it?
No, my daughter just wouldn't make that decision.
But why?
Because I still raise her in a household where she is masculinely guided. And she will be guided by me until I hand her over to some other man. However, I believe when women are left to their own devices, they will only ever make stupid decisions.
Was mine a stupid decision?
I don't necessarily believe that, but okay.
I wouldn't say it's any more stupid than most decisions women make, to be honest with you. I think that most women, to some degree, are sex workers anyway. Like, let's be honest about it, right? Most women look at Miami or Dubai. What's your job? Oh, I've got a boyfriend. So your job is being a girlfriend. And why does he give you money? Because you give him sex. So most women are sex workers anyway, to be honest.
Shit.
But isn't that what you said the family unit was?
Well, then you're a sex worker with one customer.
Shit.
Which is nice. I guess it's better. It's more efficient.
Shit.
But what about if you're raising children? That's not sex work, is it?
No, that's being a mother.
Yeah.
All right, so that's interesting, Rob. Rob said this, not me. So they're either virgins, sex workers, or mothers. Are those the three categories?
I think you're putting words into my mouth.
I think that's what Rob just said. Those are the three categories.
I'm just sat in the middle.
And women have to choose to be one of them.
So is that what you think?
I think that when a woman becomes a mother, she has a purpose. And I think that women should be having children as soon as possible. And I think it gives their life a direction. And I think it's the most important thing to preserve society, especially if you want to talk about geopolitics and talk about race and all of these things. If you want to have a country that looks like the country it used to be, you need to have the original people from there having children. I think all of that is true. Absolutely. I think every day a woman goes without having kids is primarily a waste of time. But once again, what does it matter what I think? Rob, I've given up. Rob, I've given up trying to save the world. I've given up. No, Rob. I've given up.
Haven't.
I've given up on misogyny and all this shit.
No, you haven't.
They attacked me with the Matrix. They keep throwing me in jail. I am now all for women empowerment. I think women should run around fucking as many men as they want. I like what Bonnie's doing. She's getting the bag. She's getting rich. Most girls out here don't want to have kids. They just want to get Birkin bags and Instagram likes. Good. I'm a feminist, a pro-feminism. This is the world now. How the world's going to end up, who gives a fuck? Who cares about the future? Doesn't matter.
See, women go around, use sex to their advantage, but then are happy to cry about it straight away, saying, oh, he took advantage of me. And it's like, you're the one that wanted to do sex to have like the job promotion, or you're the one that wanted to have sex to get more attention or try and be more liked, but then they cry about it. And that's what I get frustrated about. And even with porn stars, like people in my industry, they'll do this for a few years, get the money, get the boob jobs, get the house. And then suddenly they go, oh my God, I was forced into the industry. Oh my God, someone took all my money.
Have you ever considered a job as a lawyer? Because I could do with you. You're 100% right. So this is the false dichotomy of society, right? So this is the reason when I said I like what Bonnie does, because Bonnie completely 100% owns what she does. And she says, it's my decision. And I've seen people try and lecture you. I've seen people sit there and try and lecture you and say like, oh, but you're a creature of God and you shouldn't be doing this. No, you should do whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly.
It's up to you to do whatever you want. And you're not saying anybody tricked you into it. It's your decision. And let's be honest, when they talk about taking women back 100 years, let's actually be very honest here, Rob. No disrespect.
No disrespect.
There's always been whores.
It's the oldest profession.
Ancient Rome had whores.
Again, not co-signing what she's doing, but to sit there and just be like, yeah, that is what I am. I am what you are calling me, 100%. I mean, again, do I respect it? No. Do I respect it? No. But can I objectively say it is what it is? Like, she is not trying to pull, some people gonna try to pull the wool over your eyes. Like, oh, I'm not this. Because we've seen that version. We've seen women come out here and do what she does. Maybe not as extreme. She got that. But do what she does, it is in her world, and then tries to be like, nah, but I'm classy though. I see what's going on here. I don't approve of it though. I just can't. It's disgusting at the end of the day, but I think we're having a different conversation here. It's not whether it's disgusting or not. It's just where we are as a society. And this is the thing. I saw a comment recently. I think I literally just saw it where somebody was like, damn, Berto, I'm disappointed in you because it feels like you are defending these people sometimes. And it's just like, bro, I'm never defending it. It's just the type of person I am. I'm just objectively looking at what it is. And I think he was commenting on the fact that I kind of place some blame on the men that have also enabled this, where y'all have to accept some level of responsibility. I might not be talking about me and you. You might not be participating, but there's a lot of guys out there that are the reason that she's even able to do this. She wanted to do 1,000 guys clap in 24 hours. Guys, 1,000 guys showed up. 1,000 guys showed up. So it's not that I'm defending or taking her side, but it's just like we have to call a spade a spade. There's a lot of down, bad guys out there that don't want to work on themselves and would rather just goon to pixels on a phone instead of building a real relationship with a woman, instead of working on themselves, instead of being like, you know what, I need to make a change. And I'm not going to, it's sad, bro, but it's still the reality. So I'm not taking sides. I'm not taking any side. I don't identify as fucking alpha male, red pill. I just identify as a nigga that has grown up, lived life, and learned some lessons, and I talk about it on the internet. I'm just human. You know what I mean? I don't care enough. I care enough to, make entertaining content and talk about it, and I'm so happy, and it makes me feel good to know that my experiences in life can help somebody else. But on some real shit, when I turn this camera off, I'm not sitting here fucking binging or in fucking Reddit or Twitter comments arguing with people defending masculinity or feminine. Nigga, I'm a nigga. I'm a regular nigga that lives his life. But I have morals, you know what I'm saying? I have certain things that I stand on, and that's just really what it is. And I think that's why people resonate with what I have to say, because I'm not coming at it from a super right or super left place. I'm just, hey, This is me. This is how I feel. You might agree, you might disagree, but I know what I've done and the changes that I've applied to my life and how they've benefited me. So here's my truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's very crazy, bro.
Always been whores. The Aztecs had whores. You think there weren't concubines in the fucking Ming dynasty sucking little Chinese pee-pee? Of course there were. There's always been whores. It's the oldest profession in the world.
Exactly.
So do you think it's a legitimate job?
Well, I mean, no, check her bank. I'm sure she's making fucking loads of money. So here's where do you draw the line? If we're going to live in this false dichotomy, because the world was very simple once, not too long ago. And men had this terrible misogynistic view, which I, of course, don't agree with, that women can't make their own decisions because they're naturally chaotic. And when women decide anything, life's fucked up. In fact, these men, these men in their disgusting misogyny, believed if you gave women the vote, we'd end up with open borders and drag queen story hours. So they didn't give women the vote. Then they did give women the vote, and society took a particular direction. But when men were in charge of things, women didn't have to worry about what they can do with their life because their father took care of it and then their husband took care of it. But now we live in a brand new world where women can make all of their own decisions. And the path she's chosen, I don't think is any different than most paths women take. I think she's just more honest about it and more upfront about it. If you're going to go to Dubai and meet a girlfriend and you think she hasn't been fucking for money the entire time she was living in Dubai, then you're an idiot. If you're in Miami and you got girls on your boat and you think they're not fucking for money all of the time, now they may not say per hour, but.
And the craziest part about that is, again, we're not talking, when he says fucking for money, he's not even necessarily talking about the girl that's just outright, hey, pay me this and I'll give you that. But, you know, we're talking about the women that are saying, hey, if you can't take me on this date, if you can't afford this boat, if you can't financially provide X, Y, and Z, then you're not an option for me. And I think that goes back to what he was saying a little bit earlier, where it's like, in some way, shape, or form, girls be fucking for money. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't believe that's all women, but there are women out here that is like, yo, bro, you are not in my tax bracket of shit. You can't afford me. So, yeah, there is no value that I can provide to you. I will not open these legs for you, nigga. Because you can't afford me, period.
End result of feminism and the end times are here and that nobody's going to have kids anymore and that the idea of a beautiful marriage between a man and a woman is now completely gone. I mean, if I was a disgusting misogynist, but since they keep raising...
But you don't have one beautiful marriage, do you?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Have you slept with 1,057 women?
At least.
So are you quite similar?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because it's the male's prerogative to impregnate as many females as possible. This is the masculine prerogative. This is biologically my prerogative is to do that.
I think we should do a breeding competition. We'll see if you can get a girl pregnant quicker than I can get pregnant.
Well, I mean, that'd be a good competition. I think I'd win. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one, but it's interesting because it's interesting because
I mean, he would win. Just any male would win because a guy can go get 10 girls pregnant at once, but the girl can only carry one baby at a time. Again, not co-signing, just pointing out the actual facts. I felt like I had to say that.
You have to look at society. When you look at these things, you have to look at society from an animalistic perspective and a societal perspective. From the animalistic perspective, it is the masculine imperative to get as many women as possible pregnant.
Yeah, but
if you want to be purely
it's
animalistic,
not 1,512.
No, but let's be purely animalistic. Let's talk about this like professionals. If a man is high value, high testosterone, alpha male, whatever you want to call him, right? His imperative is to impregnate women. And he wants to take care of those women and take care of those kids. He's not overly interested in the kids. It doesn't mean he doesn't love them. It means he doesn't want to sit there and play with them all day. When you see a man who wants to play with a baby all day, that man is probably gay. It's fucking boring.
Well, it doesn't mean he wants to fuck the kid.
No, he's gay. He's gay. So real men just want to pregnant, money, cool. See you an hour a week. Boom, boom, boom. Now there's a lot of men who are going to disagree with me on that, but those are...
I disagree with that. I genuinely do. I mean, I get what he's trying to say. Again, when you truly are in your full masculine frame and you're looking down the agenda of what you need to do throughout the day, I feel like he is, again, at the most highest level, the most extreme level. He's saying, I'm a provider. I don't have time to sit here and fucking cuddle with my kids. I love my kids. I'm showing up for my kids, but I have work to do. I think that's the most extreme version of what he's saying. Me, at the end of the day, there was probably a time and place for that in history, but in 2025, I feel like there's some moderation to that. Like, yes, you can be a provider. Yes, you can, you working all day. You don't have necessarily all the time in the world to just be sitting around playing patty cake. But I do feel like being present, showing up to the fucking the baseball games, the basketball games, whatever it is, that love and affection, I do believe that's important. And again, I feel like Tate says these things because he knows the engagement that it will get. He knows the conversations that they're gonna start. I don't know how many kids this nigga has. If he has 10 plus kids, then yeah, it probably is a lot harder to do that. But I'd imagine if he only had, like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 max, he's showing up. He's showing that love. He's playing the patty cake version of with his kids. Now, again, this is why me personally, I don't like the idea of having fucking 10 plus kids. There's some guys on here like, yo, I'm trying to repopulate the world with my last name. And hey, I hear that perspective, but I want to be as present in my kid's life as possible. And I just feel like it only makes sense. If I got 10 of you motherfuckers, how can I give you all my attention? It just, me personally, again, I don't really co-sign that. But this is just another example. I feel like he's taking it to 10. And we can kind of weave through the bullshit. And I think that's the biggest problem with the internet. People are so emotional that they can't take things, disagree with some parts, and agree with some parts. We are in a time where people will just hear something they don't like and then boom, nah, fuck that. That person's evil. That person doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Nothing they say makes sense. Like, versus me, it doesn't even have to be Tate or anybody. If anybody says something that is objectively makes sense, I can objectively look at it and be like, I mean, I don't agree with that part, but I agree with this though. I feel like people have lost that though.
There's a lot of men I can beat the shit out of, so I don't give a fuck. That's the truth of it. The female imperative is to find a man who's obsessed with her so that when she gets pregnant, she's going to have protection and provision when she's not capable of looking after herself. That is the female biological imperative and the masculine biological imperative. I'm still living to my biological imperative to some degree. If I were to, let's say, have 4 or 5 women and I had kids with 4 or 5 women and I took care of 4 or 5 women and I was with all of them and they were exclusively only with me and we had children over and over and over again, that's my biological imperative. It's actually against the female biological imperative to do what Bonnie is doing, I would argue, traditionally. But that means you break paradigms. That's great. But feminism and society and this brand new societal conditioning is convincing women that what they're supposed to do, which is find a man they love and be obsessed with him and get pregnant from him, is the wrong thing to do. Well, then let's all just become sex workers now.
But you disagree with that feminist point.
I don't have an opinion, Rob, because I have 14 criminal cases. I don't have an opinion. I'm just here. I'm a commentator. I'm just commentating.
Commentators have opinions.
I don't have an opinion. No, I don't have an opinion. Women can do whatever they want. Women are fantastic. We live in this great society now where women are girl bosses and better than us, while also are equals at everything, while also everything they do they regret was a man's fault somehow, as Bonnie described. They were tricked into it. So we live in this impossible situation where a man can't possibly win anyway, no matter what opinion he has. But I'm just saying it would be unprofessional and hypocritical of me to sit here and think that Bonnie is doing anything different or anything bad or anything wrong when she does the same thing 99.9% of Western women do anyway.
Okay, so Bonnie...
You get one extreme to the next. You get the women like me that are just sluts, and then you get the others that are lazy and won't even...
Just saying that so confidently is crazy. You get women like me who are sluts. Quick, calm, on to the next. Because it's just... I mean, it's the truth. but just owning it is crazy. Which is, again, that's the only part where it's like, at least she's owning that shit.
And get on the knees and give a blowjob.
And they're
There's one
sluts
extreme
too.
to the next.
No, but this is the thing. They're sluts too. They're just sluts for a different guy, or they were sluts for their ex, and they're not sluts for the new guy. These women are sluts too. It's all the same.
Like, I used to be a full service sex worker, like an escort, and I used to judge men that cheated. And then when I actually started speaking to these men, I was like, you know what? They've got a point. They're going to work. They're looking after their kids. They're still emptying the dishes because the wife's now refusing to do that, saying it should be equal. And then I say, well, when's the last time she gave you a blowjob? When's the last time she fucked you? They couldn't name it. They couldn't even list the amount of times where they've had sexual intercourse. I'm like, of course you're going to need that. Of course you're going to cheat. So how can I ever say women are anything but lazy and poorly educated?
So do you think you're a good role model for women?
I'm a clear example of what women have fought for years. Of
what?
Taking control of your body.
Correct.
Being independent. I earn my own money. I don't rely on a guy. I'm
Girl
paid
power.
Exactly. I'm paid more than other
100%.
guys.
100%.
Do you think
This is a crazy perspective, but it's not the wrong perspective. It's two separate conversations. We can talk about not supporting what she's doing. We could talk about the fact that it's wrong. We could talk about the fact that it's toxic. We could talk about the fact that, she's a terrible influence. But when you have the other conversation where it's like, yeah, isn't this exactly what y'all said y'all wanted to do? I can sleep with as many men as I want as a woman. Isn't that what y'all said? Wasn't that part of the agenda? So, damn, you know what I'm saying? This is really taking one back here, bro. But it's like, wow. I'm curious to hear what y'all think, man.
She is a clear example of what women have been fighting for years. Absolutely correct.
And now
I'm not
going
to sit here and lecture you about God. I'm not going to sit here and tell, no, that's all bullshit. She is a clear example of what women have been fighting for years.
Yeah.
Women believe that they can do whatever they want.
Do you think they should be able to?
Listen, brother, I have 14 criminal cases. I don't want to be called a misogynist by the BBC. That would break my heart. That's not up to me. We're all individual sovereign people, and we make our own decisions. If women want to run around and do whatever they want to do, it's up to them. My point is, all women, on some scale, are doing what Bonnie Blue is doing. However, Bonnie Blue's just the best at it. She's the best. She's the queen of it. So why? It's
not all women are doing.
Let me ask you a question. If a man walks into Starbucks and steals a chocolate bar, he's a thief. Yeah, correct.
Not in London.
Well,
it's legal.
Yeah. And if a banker manages to liquidate a ton of stock illegally in the stock market or rip off a bunch of people with a false investment fund, whatever it is, he's a thief, right? The morality is the same, whether you're stealing from the Wall Street or you're stealing from Starbucks. The morality of it is the same. But people will sit there and argue that the banker is somehow worse than the guy who stole the chocolate bar because of how much he stole. I wouldn't argue there's a difference in morality. There's a difference in capability. But the morality is the same. The banker's just smarter.
I'm just a clever slut.
You're just very good.
Oh my God. Every time she just says shit like that, I'd be like, what? Do you not it's making me cringe, bro.
She's very good at what she's decided to do. If you're going to be a whore, and most women watching this, and most men, hello, your wife, yeah, her, they're all whores anyway. If you're going to be a whore, no disrespect, you may as well be fucking good at it. Get a media empire, get rich, let everyone know your name, and get paid. Why are you going out to the pub, getting drunk, and meeting a man who's funny, and getting fucked in a toilet for free? Are you dumb?
They are, though. Women are stupid.
They're stupid. So Bonnie's just the smartest. She's the Wall Street banker of this whole shit. I respect that much more than these other girls. Rob, I grew up in Luton, England, bruv. You think I don't know hoes? You think I haven't seen it? You think I haven't walked in the toilet and some bitch has got 5 dudes hanging out of her? This is the Western world. This is feminism. This is what all you white boys wanted. All you white men listening to women all the time, women get to opinions all of a sudden. This is what you built. Congratulations.
So you blame men?
Well, 100% I blame men because everything's men.
I just said that. It's like, I'm not choosing sides, but it's them weak bitch ass simp ass niggas that enabled this shit, bro. And again, you watching my videos, you watching whoever you watch, the other people that inspire you and influence you to do better, great. because I'm not going to sit here and act like I've never been in a vulnerable state of, you know, being a bitch. That's what it is. Sometimes you got to go through it to get through it. But that don't change the fact that it's guys that are enabling this behavior is why they are able to do this at such a high degree. Like I said, guys, she wanted to do 1,000 niggas in one day. 1,000 niggas showed up. If society was how it's supposed to be, she would have been struggling to do that shit. But my guess, she had niggas waiting outside trying to make probably overload. If she could, it probably would have been 2,000, 3,000, 4,000.
Men's fault, because men are the only ones who can apply force to scenarios. Women can't apply force. Men apply force. If there's something we don't like, we apply force to the situation. We could force this away. We could force most things away. So everything's absolutely men's fault. And this came from, I mean, the feminism and the women's sexualization and the liberation, a lot of it came from beta males hoping to get some pussy. That's what it came from. Bunch of weak men, though. If we told girls to be hoes, I might get a little bit. Because the natural order of the universe is the big gorilla, top G, smart. I'm so fucking smart. The big gorilla, top G, has a bunch of women, and then the small gorilla has nothing. This is the natural order of the universe. It's actually kind of still like that in many ways. There's a guy with the yacht with 10 wives, and then there's a guy with no yacht with no wife. It's kind of like that. But beta males didn't like that because they couldn't obviously compete with the top guy. So they've tried to push this sexual liberation, hoping to get a little bit of pussy, and it probably works a little bit. But society's destroyed by extension. If you want to look at society for what it is, because what is society anything other than rearing and raising children? That's what society should be, I would argue. Society should be, the primary function of it should be, let's have kids so that we have a population.
Word, word, word. Look, I'm going to end the video here because this is a very long interview. And what I'm hoping is we can maybe break this up into segments. So y'all let me know if you guys want to see part 2 of this Bonnie Blue versus Andrew Tate. This is very entertaining though. I want to watch it with y'all. If y'all not rocking with it, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's up on YouTube and y'all can watch it by yourselves. I watch it by myself. But if y'all want to watch part 2 here with me, I'll bring that to you. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. At the end of the day, man, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's why y'all got to lock in, become the best version of yourselves. If you guys want to change the world, the biggest change that you can make is right here within your own self and within your own heart, within your own family, within your own kids. So, you know what I'm saying? We can all point the finger and, you know, have the conversation. I think conversations are healthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and say we shouldn't talk about what's going on in the world and, you know, judge other people so that we can learn from their mistakes or learn from what other people got going on. That's cool. But when it really comes down to it, it's all bullshit. You gotta look within yourself and really start to lock in and make those changes so we don't continue down this path. But love y'all, appreciate y'all. I'll see you on the next one. My name is Berto.
Where you at, Berto?